So we've talked about some of the things that we need help with, but how do we find the programs that are going to be most effective for us? And how do I make sure the program's right for me once I've found them? Well, first thing we need to do is, what are we actually expecting to get from the program? If we're going to join a community group, then maybe not going to be the best place to go learn how to get those social skills. You're going to be interacting with people in the community that might not know about your disabilities or your barriers. So it's a great place to practice, but I'm not going to learn there. What about my social D&D group? I'm going with my friends there and it's supported. Maybe I can learn there. Well, they might be able to help you a little bit. If you say the wrong thing, your support worker might call you on it and help you learn. Maybe your friends might have a struggle and your support worker can help you deal with that. But that's not really teaching the skills you need to be successful socially. What about my psych or my OT? Well, working one-on-one with them, they can help go over some strategies that might work for you. Your OT might build a plan to what you can practice and maybe what programs to look for. So it's important that we manage our expectations. When we look at a program, such as D&D, let's use that as an example. What am I going to get out of that? Well, I know that there's going to be a bunch of people there. You can't play D&D alone. And it's a supported program, so there's going to be a support worker there. But I'm not going outside, so I'm not going to get very much community involvement. They're not going to be teaching me specifically how to play the game, because I already know that. So all I'm going to do is practice. So I know if I'm going to go there to a group D&D, although it's going to be a lot of fun, I'm not going to be developing my social skills. But I will get to practice them. Now, what about doing the one-on-one psych program? Maybe Secret Agent Society or Aspartines? Well, they're run by a psychologist. So they're probably all going to be about helping me improve my social skills. And they are in a group like the D&D, but it's a little bit more focused. It's not going to be a lot of me practicing my skills because I'll be focused on developing them. So if I wanted to go make friends, probably not the right program for me. I also got to look at the age. It's great if I want to play D&D, but if the only programs available to me is for 13-year-olds and I'm 25, that's not going to be a suitable program for me. It's not going to be very much fun for me, and I don't think it's going to work for them either. So I've got to make sure the program I'm looking for matches what I want. Also, not just about how old they are, but who's going there. If I know that I only want to hang out with other people with ASD, and I go to a program that's got people from all different types of disabilities, that's not going to be very fun to me. What about out in the community? If I know that I struggle and I can't communicate well, might not be a great idea for me to try out a group program in the community that's unsupported. That might lead to it not working for me. We have to think about these things. So what we've developed is a toolbox to help you work out what program is right for me. The first thing you do is write down what you want to achieve. We've got our goals. Our NDIS tells us we need to make goals. So we already have a framework to work from. What am I trying to achieve this plan? Once I have my goals, I can work out what I personally want. Do I want to make some friends? Do I want to get better at social skills? Do I want to practice my personal care? What do I need? Then I can go onto the A list and I can search for some programs that might meet those keywords. Social interaction, skill development, psych, OT. I can use the search engine to work out what I need. And then once I've found some programs that might be suitable, I can call, have mum call, or talk to my coordinator to have them look into and make sure it's going to match my needs. Then give it a go. Every time we try something, it's new. It might work, it might not. It's important to remember that trying things is good, but it isn't always going to succeed. Even if it's a great program with a great people, it might not be right for you. It's all about trying and finding the right program for you. There really isn't a wrong way to do it, as long as we're thinking about what we want to achieve, what programs are out there, and how we can look and see if they're going to match us. Now, what are some pitfalls around programs? Well, the most common mistake people do is they think that if they say wanted to play D&D, that they'll just pick the first D&D group because that's the one that you found. Well, that might work, but you're not really thinking about whether it's going to meet your needs. The other problem is not understanding exactly what the program is going to achieve. If you're going to your program and you're not understanding what it's based for, you're not going to have a good time. You might go there expecting things to be different. You might go there and people don't treat you the way that you expected. What about costs? every program has a cost, except for the ones in the community. Now, if we're going to a supported program, those costs can be quite high. So we've got to be mindful that we're picking programs that are within our budget and look at maybe some alternatives. If we want to play D&D on a Saturday, that's great. That's our cool down day. That's the day that we've got plenty of time. But we've got to think about the cost. It's very expensive on a Saturday. Maybe there's a program after school that you can attend. Or if you're not at school, maybe take advantage of the fact that most of those programs are going to be emptier. The provider might even do it cheaper for you because it's harder for them to fill. It's all about finding the right program for you and making sure it meets your needs. Talk to your mum, talk to your coordinator, talk to us at the A-List, and we'll help you work out what the right program is for you so that you can succeed.